Imagine this moment. Someone disrespects you in front of everyone. A mocking laugh, a cutting remark. Your chest tightens. Your mind races. Your body urges, fight back, defend yourself, don't look weak. But pause for just 1 second. What if an insult was not an attack? What if it was a hidden gift? We live in a world where disrespect feels like a wound. Words can pierce deeper than knives. A single comment can haunt us for days, replaying in our minds at night. But the Stoics saw something different. They believed no insult can harm you unless you allow it. No word has power, except the power you give it. So let me ask you, when someone disrespects you, who truly holds the power? Is it the one who throws careless words? Or the one who decides how to respond? Not them, but you. This story is not about revenge. It is not about silence born of fear. It is about something higher, dignity. In the next few minutes, we'll explore how to turn insult into strength. How to pause, how to reframe, how to respond, not with anger, not with weakness, but with calm clarity. Because disrespect is inevitable. But humiliation, that is optional. What if you could walk into any room, a meeting, a family dinner, even a heated argument, and remain completely unshaken? What if no insult could pierce you? What if no careless remark could disturb your balance? This is not a fantasy. This is a practice, a discipline, a way of living the Stoics have trained for centuries. By the end of this journey, you will carry 3 tools with you. The pause, to create space before reacting. The reframe, to see insults as reflections of others, not yourself. The dignified response, calm words that turn tension into clarity. Imagine this outcome. Instead of being the person who loses control at a sharp comment, you become the one who holds the room with silent composure. Instead of replaying insults at night, you rest in peace, knowing that others' words cannot define you. Instead of shrinking when disrespected, you rise, calm and firm, showing everyone the strength of restraint. This is not about ignoring insults. It is not about pretending they don't sting. It is about transforming them. Like alchemy, turning lead into gold, you will turn insult into self-mastery. And this power does not just protect you. It inspires others, because when you stand in dignity, you lead by example. So I ask you again, what if insult was a gift? By the end of this video, you will know how to unwrap it. When we are disrespected, 2 common mistakes trap us. Both are natural. Both are understandable. But both cost us our power. The first mistake is exploding in anger. You feel the sting of insult, and your body demands retaliation. You fire back with sharper words, louder volume, harsher tone. For a brief moment, you think you've won, but soon after, guilt creeps in. Your anger exposes you. It makes you look fragile, not strong. It hands the stage to the insulter, proving they controlled your emotions. The second mistake is shrinking in silence. You swallow the pain, you force a smile, you let the insult linger unchallenged. Inside, it burns. That night, the words echo again and again. You lie awake, wishing you had spoken up. Your silence doesn't protect you. It imprisons you. Both reactions, explosion and withdrawal, share one thing in common. They surrender control. Anger gives your power to the other. Fear hides your power from yourself. The Stoics warned us, when we let insults dictate our state of mind, we have already lost. The insulter wins not because their words are sharp, but because we hand them our peace. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, when someone disrespects you, what is the mistake you usually make? Do you explode, letting anger speak for you? Or do you shrink, letting fear silence you? Neither path brings dignity. Neither path brings freedom. There must be another way. And there is. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics faced the same problem we do today. They too were mocked. They too were insulted. They too were tested by words meant to wound. Yet their wisdom still guides us. Epictetus, once a slave, later a teacher, reminded his students with clarity, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." The insult is external. The reaction is internal. One belongs to them. The other belongs to you. The Stoic principle is simple, yet radical. No one can harm your dignity unless you hand it over. No one can control your peace unless you let them. Imagine an archer shooting an arrow. If the arrow misses, it cannot pierce you. An insult works the same way. If your mind does not catch it, it cannot hurt you. This is not denial. This is discipline. It is the art of choosing where your power lives. The Stoics trained daily to separate what is within control and what is beyond control. They wrote it, repeated it, lived by it. Insults? Beyond control. Reaction? Within control. So when insult arrives, the Stoic does not say, "How dare you speak to me like that?" He asks instead, "What part of this belongs to me?" The answer is always the same, only my response. Nothing else. This shift changes everything. Instead of being pulled like a puppet by someone else's words, you become the one holding the strings of your own mind. Disrespect may knock at your door, but you decide whether to let it in. The first tool is simple, but it is the most powerful. It is the pause. When insult strikes, our body wants to react instantly. The heart races. The breath shortens. The fists clench. Adrenaline demands action. But the Stoics discovered something profound. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, a breath, a pause. And within that pause lies freedom. Imagine insult as a spark. If you throw fuel on it, anger, shouting, retaliation, it bursts into fire. But if you let it land in stillness, the spark dies. The insult burns out. Not because it was never real, but because you refuse to feed it. The pause does not mean doing nothing. It means doing the right thing later with clarity. It means stepping back for just one breath, just 1 second of choice, instead of reacting on impulse. Think of the pause as a shield, not to block the words, you cannot block them, but to block their control over you. The Stoics train themselves daily in this art of pausing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." And the pause is where you choose how to estimate. Is this insult truly worth my peace? Or can I let it pass like wind through an open window? With one pause, you become unshakable. With one pause, you turn reaction into response. With one pause, you reclaim your dignity. Picture this scene. You are in a meeting. Your manager asks for your opinion. You share your idea, careful, thoughtful, clear. Then it happens. A colleague across the table smirks. They lean back in their chair, arms crossed, and say in a sharp tone, "That's the dumbest idea I've heard all week." The room freezes. Heads turn. Some people hide their smiles. Your face burns. Your heart pounds. Every instinct screams, hit back, defend yourself, don't look weak. But then you remember the tool, the pause. You inhale. One breath. Not long. Just a second. But in that second, something shifts. Instead of snapping, you wait. Instead of raising your voice, you breathe. And in that stillness, you reclaim control. Your colleague expected a fight. They wanted fuel. They wanted your anger. But you gave them silence. Not silence of fear. Silence of strength. In that pause, the power in the room tilts. The one who mocked you suddenly looks smaller. The one who stayed calm suddenly looks greater. This is the paradox. The less you react, the more authority you hold. The pause is not weakness. It is command. Later, you can respond firmly, clearly, with outrage. But in that critical moment, the pause saved you from handing your emotions away. The second tool is the reframe. If the pause creates space, the reframe creates perspective. An insult, on its own, is just sound. But the meaning? That is written by you. You decide what story it tells. Most people believe insults describe them. You're incompetent. You're lazy. You're worthless. And in an instant, they wear those words like chains. But the Stoics refused those chains. They knew an insult describes the insulter more than the target. It is a mirror. It reflects their insecurity, their frustration, their weakness, not your worth. Reframing is not denial. It is clarity. It is asking, whose voice is this really? If someone calls you foolish, does it reveal truth about you or impatience within them? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, if someone despises me, that's their problem. My only concern, am I acting according to reason and justice? This is the essence of reframe. To take the sting out of the insult by changing its meaning. Not, I'm being attacked, but they are revealing themselves. And suddenly the insult loses its poison. It becomes information, not injury. Imagine this shift. Instead of feeling small, you observe. Instead of absorbing their words, you study them like a passing storm. You realize, their disrespect is a window into their struggle, not mine. Reframing lifts the insult out of your skin and places it where it belongs, back into the hands of the one who threw it. Imagine a warm family dinner. Plates clink, laughter hums. The camera focuses on one person at the table, you, as you share something personal. A new job, a new project, a new dream. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts. A relative leans forward, their voice cutting through the room. Really? That's what you're doing with your life? What a waste of potential. The table falls silent. Eyes glance sideways. The words land heavy, not just on your ears, but deep in your chest. Shame flushes your face. Your appetite vanishes. Family, the people who should uplift us, can sometimes wound us the deepest. And here, the temptation is strong. To argue back. To defend every choice. To prove your worth on the spot. But then you remember the Stoic tool. The reframe. You ask yourself quietly, whose voice is this really? Is this truth about me? Or is it fear inside them? And you realize, their words reveal their story, not yours. Maybe they once had dreams and abandoned them. Maybe they fear your courage highlights their regrets. Maybe their disrespect is just the echo of their own insecurity. In that moment, something shifts. The insult that once stung now becomes information. A mirror, not a dagger. Their words are not a verdict on your life. They are a confession of their own struggles. You take a breath. You hold your ground. You choose not to wear the chains of their judgment. Instead of arguing, you respond with calm presence. I hear you, but this path feels true to me. Not loud, not defensive, just steady. The tension eases. You eat again. And for the first time, you feel free. Because the insult did not define you. The reframe did. The third tool is the crown of them all. Pause gives you space. Reframe gives you clarity. But dignity is the way you step back into the world. Because silence alone can be mistaken for fear. Clarity alone can remain private. Dignity, however, is visible. It is strength expressed. Responding with dignity does not mean attacking back. It does not mean humiliating the insulter. It means showing calm strength through words that are firm but gentle, clear but not cruel, measured but not weak. Think of it as standing tall without raising your voice. Sometimes it is a phrase as simple as, I see your view, but I will stay true to mine. Other times it may be, that may be your opinion. Mine is different. Or even silence, accompanied by steady presence and a calm gaze. A message louder than any words. Dignity is not about silencing others. It is about refusing to let them lower you. Seneca once wrote, no man is crushed by insult unless he first allows himself to be so. Dignity is the armor that makes this possible. Imagine responding with dignity in that meeting or at that dinner. The room expects anger, The room expects weakness, but instead you respond with calm firmness, and suddenly the insult shrinks. The insulter feels small. The audience sees the difference. This is leadership. Not by dominating, not by shouting, but by demonstrating what self-mastery looks like. The true victory over insult is not in silencing it. It is in transforming it from humiliation into an opportunity to reveal your strength. Every tool carries a risk, even dignity, because sometimes what looks like dignity is not. It is disguise. It is anger hiding behind silence. It is pride pretending to be calm. The Stoics warned us, dignity is not coldness. It is not superiority. It is not about standing above others with silent contempt. True dignity is warm, not icy. It is rooted in clarity, not bitterness. It uplifts the moment rather than poisoning it. But many misuse this tool. They confuse dignity with indifference. They confuse calm words with sarcasm. They confuse silence with hidden rage. And when that happens, the power is lost. Because the insulter still controls you, you just wear a mask. Imagine this. At dinner, someone mocks you. You stay silent. But inside, your chest burns. Your silence is not freedom. It is prison. It is a bottle holding in pressure, ready to explode. That is not Stoicism. That is suppression. Or picture this. You answer with calm words, but your tone drips with sarcasm. Your words are soft, but your heart is sharp. That is not dignity. That is disguised revenge. The misuse of Stoic tools creates shadows. And in shadows, resentment grows. True dignity is different. It is the ability to respond with calm presence, without poison hidden underneath. Seneca once warned, "He who conceals resentment under the mask of patience is not free." Freedom is the measure. When you use dignity correctly, you feel lighter. When you misuse it, you feel heavier. So here is the test. After your response, do you feel peace or pressure? If peace, you walked with dignity. If pressure, you wore a mask. We have walked through fire. We have faced insults in the workplace, at the dinner table, within ourselves. And now the path is clear. The Stoics gave us 3 simple tools. Not weapons, not armor, but disciplines that transform insult into strength. First, pause. When words strike, the body wants war. But one breath creates freedom. One pause separates reaction from response. And in that pause, you reclaim your dignity. Second, reframe. The insult is not a verdict. It is a mirror. It reveals their fears, their wounds, their insecurities, not your worth. Reframing turns poison into information, humiliation into understanding. Third, respond with dignity. Not silence of fear, not sarcasm in disguise, but calm words, steady presence, unshakable strength. Dignity does not lower you to their level. It raises the whole room. Together, these tools form a chain of mastery. Pause gives space. Reframe gives clarity. Dignity gives voice. And when you combine them, you become untouchable. Disrespected? Perhaps. Humiliated? Never. Because dignity is not given by others. It is chosen by you. Disrespect will come. That is certain. A colleague may mock you. A relative may belittle you. A stranger may sneer in passing. You cannot stop the waves of words, but you can choose how to sail them. And now you hold 3 tools. Pause, reframe, respond with dignity. Simple, clear, transformative. But wisdom means nothing without practice. So here is your challenge. This week, when you feel disrespected, do not react immediately. Do not explode. Do not shrink. Instead, take one breath. One pause. In that pause, remind yourself, This insult is a mirror, not a verdict. Then, if needed, respond, not with anger, not with sarcasm, but with dignity. Try this once, just once, and watch how the energy changes. Watch how power returns to you. You do not need to win the argument. You do not need to convince them. You only need to master yourself, because the greatest victory is not silence, and it is not dominance. It is calm self-command. So take the practice, take the pause, take the dignity, and lead by example.